G'day footy fans and welcome to Boothy's AFL Fantasy Dream Team podcast. Well, 2 rounds in AFL are done and dusted and here's how I went. So Boothy's Ball Gatherers is now priced at 11.56 million, so it's gone up by 0.56 million of course, and my current score is 4,198 in the yellow on the right hand side down the bottom there, and the leader amazingly is on 4,573. And the guy in 99th position is on 4,439. The reason I say that is because the top 100 dream teams at the end of the year get a cap with a number from 1 to 100 on it, so that's kind of cool. So I guess I am 241 points away from the top 100. Anything can happen when you're there. So I'm not completely out of it. You'd want to be on 4,000 or more right now, otherwise you've probably got no chance of winning overall. So here's how we went. So Adams' average dropped down to 125 on the back of only getting 99. And he's now priced at 653. Simpson had a poor game with 53, so he's only averaging 90. But he's still a very good D2. Henderson is averaging 92, went down a little bit. Lloyd had a great game with 113, he's averaging 100. Zach Jones, who I brought in, only got 50 odd, but played a tough game against the Bulldogs and got 20 disposals. And hopefully he won't get rubbed out for his bump. Hopefully he just gets a fine. I'm happy with him because I think he's a first 22 player for Sydney. They had a tough game against the Bulldogs. And Hampton for Adelaide did very well and is getting better in the midfield, and hopefully his job security is still there. Andy Otten was great as a second ruck, kicked a goal and got 81, so he's a very viable emergency at the moment for me. And Hibberd didn't play, but I'm stuck with him in defence. Now Dangerfield was a wonderful captain, getting a massive score, and he's averaging 258 for the 2 games as captain. Treloar got another 125, he was great, 515 from memory. Gaff got another really good score, he's averaging 130. Beams averaging 108. Now McGrath I brought in and only got 65, but he got 30 in the last quarter, and he will get better. He's a first draft pick. He's elite. Should play every game for the year, barring 1 or 2 resting ones. He's averaging 81 in his 2 games, and he just looks fantastic as the number 1 draft pick. So I'm happy with him, and he will get better. He can also swing into defence because he's dual position. That's why he's got a star. So I'm happy to keep him in the midfield at the moment and see how we go. Now, Haaland Smith I've got there. He's averaging 58 for Geelong, but I don't think his job security is huge. They've got guys coming back like Menegola and Scott Selwood, amongst others. So, even though he got the winning goal against North Melbourne, I don't think his job security is there. He's not getting big scores, and the coach even said he's not the most talented player. He just works hard. So I'm looking at trading him out for his 262 and getting in a 150 player. Now, I believe that Ballack will play this week. I listened to the press conference by Ross Lyon after getting smashed by Port by nearly 100 points, and he said they will make changes, and Ballack got 28 disposals, 11 marks and 4 tackles in the Perth team, who lost by 43 points, by the way, the Peel Thunder, and they played today and he dominated. Got the most possessions in that team for Freo, and he's had 3 good games in a row, and he's a high possession winner. So I'm looking at bringing Ballack in as a 150 mid/forward as a midfielder, to cover Haaland Smith, who I'm going to get rid of and save the $112. Now, obviously, I'm going to wait till the teams are named and make a final decision, but at this stage, from what Ross Lyon said, from the way Fremantle are playing, from their 4-year plan, and Ballack's been prolific, the most prolific player in their reserves, their Peel Thunder team in the Waffle, he's the most likely to come in as a second-year talented player. He has had his injuries, but he's good at the moment, so look out for that. And Power Pepper, wonderful game again, averaging 78, looks great, got in the 80s for Port. He looks brilliant in the midfield, and he's a fantastic M7, M8 for me. And of course, Barrett got 65 for Brisbane. He's still a very secure emergency, and Pickett for Carlton looked even better, averaging 40. He's on my bench making a little bit of money. Now in the ruck, you've got Martin and Cruiser. Cruiser got dominated by Gawn, to be expected. Should have an easier game this week because Gawn is an absolute colossus. Martin's going along his merry way, averaging 111, fantastic. Bruce got 100, which was wonderful, so he's a great emergency to have, obviously. Dowhouse averaging 92. Steele was a bit down, but with the news that Jack Stevens punctured a lung, Steele will get more midfield time, and they'll have an easier game playing back in Melbourne against a team they could do better against than playing over in Perth against West Coast. So he's 74 for Steele average, and he'll be fine. Bradley Hill got over 100 and averaging 85 now, so that was wonderful news for me. Well over 100 actually against Port, was fantastic. Roughhead did solidly against the Crows, and we'll have an easy game next week hopefully. Butler was good, but I'd rather have him on the bench. And Miles, first game for Hawthorn, they're doing a sort of semi-rebuild as well with 54, but I think he'll get better, particularly with the news Birchall will be out for Hawthorn, so Miles should get another game and be fine. And on the bench, I've got Kennedy and Eddie. Now, Eddie played, which is great, and got 60. and Kennedy I plan on dropping. So with the back of Kennedy and Holland Smith going out and picking up Ballack, I can then afford a player like Hoskin Elliott, who's averaging 110 for Collingwood, and he costs 317. So that's my plan, to bring in Hoskin Elliott and Ballack, for, as I said to you, Holland Smith, another hyphenated H, and of course the other one is Kennedy, who's not playing for GWS. So I think my team looks a lot better. Then I put Miles on the field, Butler on the bench with Eddie. I look a lot more solid, and things hopefully will pick up for me this week. Please comment. I'd love to hear about your teams. How you going? Hopefully you're on 4,000. I did suggest bringing in Grundy, and he didn't let us down, did he? He got 120 odd. So if you brought in Grundy, well done. I did mention that in my podcast last week. My two trades this week, Jones and McGrath, although they didn't get massive scores, I still believe they're top 22 players, and one's a third-year player and one's a first draft in the draft, and I think they'll get better. And as I said, they're definitely first 22 players for their team, Sydney and Essendon. They will sort of play midfield or half-back and running type games, so I'm not too worried about them at the moment. I think they'll improve, and they will play every week provided they don't get injured. So this week I'm going for Hoskin Elliott, who's doing great, and of course Ballack, who I think will get a game. So good luck, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.